So this is a topic that I think is sensitive.
So we know this topic can carry a lot of pain, and it's like
Yes.
dead stop dynamite in the middle of it. I got to keep the course, and this person doesn't want me, so I better find someone to fill that spot.
But then the question is, like, Lord, are you going to leave me alone? Those lines.
Yeah. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to Second Cup Marriage.
Yep.
I'm Laurie, and
I'm Corey. Pardon my voice. I have a cold, so
yes,
I have the cold voice going on.
You're sounding better today, though.
Thank you. What's this episode about, honey? Let's dive right in.
Yes, let's dive right in. This is exciting. We're getting back into the podcast.
Yeah.
We thought we would do more of an introductory podcast this time, instead of jumping right into the middle of our life, sort of dealing with, I think, a topic I've seen a lot. I was having a discussion with somebody about this, actually, about whether or not God can bless a second marriage. So this is a topic that I think is sensitive.
So we know this topic can carry a lot of pain.
Yes.
And we're not going to be minimizing it.
No.
It's, in my opinion, it's not God's plan.
Yeah.
To be divorced.
Right.
So I don't want to come across thinking that second marriages are better or get more blessed or any of that. I mean, it's a fallen world. It's not God's plan.
Right.
When you make that covenant and commitment to God to be married, it should not be broken.
Right.
And because of that, a lot of pain comes.
Well, yeah. I think a lot of people, well, obviously, you don't get into marriage planning to get divorced.
No.
And so it carries a lot of pain for a lot of people when it happens. A lot of people fight really hard to keep the marriage for a long time. And especially if you're of the Christian faith and it's diametrically opposed to your faith to get divorced.
For me, it hit like a ton of rocks. I mean, there was lead up, obviously. There was some trouble in the marriage and going through counseling and thinking, okay, everything is going well and we're on the path to a healthy marriage, and then bam, it's gone. The rug pulled out, and your world comes crashing down. It's painful. All your dreams are gone. Like, just you don't know who you are, or
exactly. Identity crisis enters into the mix.
Yeah.
Especially identity before God. And then that question, what is God going to be able to do with me now? How can I be useful to God if I'm divorced? I think is a question that I asked myself.
Like the battles, for example, I didn't want the divorce.
Right.
And in my mind, I made a covenant to God and it shouldn't be broken. But I mean, I still signed the divorce papers, right?
Right.
I mean, in my mind, I didn't want to rock the boat anymore.
Right.
Right. So I was just going through the motions. Like, I mean, I remember, pleading, incessantly to not happen, and feeling weak for being in that position.
Right. Yeah. I had the same thing. I didn't want the divorce and fought for a long time, trying to keep it, trying to request counseling, to reason with him about covenant. The circumstances were such for both of us, actually, that we didn't want to end our first marriage.
Yeah.
And not only that, but fought against it big time. I did kind of have a crisis between me and the Lord about it, because I was like, Lord, how can you let this happen? Like, my heart is to stay married. My heart is to find common ground. When it was clear that I was not going to be able to save the marriage, I mean, like you, I had to do this signing the divorce papers. Like, I remember praying all the way to the court, because for us it was that situation, to ask him, ask the Lord. I was like, Lord, if you want to stop this, you can stop it, Then
I mean, going back to the bad decisions you make, when you're going through that crash. I mean, one of my things too was being alone. You know, like, because in my mind, you have a family, you raise your kids, you get old, you retire, there's this like trajectory.
Yeah.
And then it's like dead stop dynamite in the middle of it. And it's like, okay, I got to keep the course, and this person doesn't want me, so I better find someone to fill that spot. So I was like on the dating apps looking for somebody, and then
that feeling of not wanting to be alone was definitely there for me too. But at the same time, I was scared of getting into a situation that the Lord couldn't bless because of what I'd just been through. It was like horrific heartbreak for me. So initially, there was the reaction to want to be with someone just like you. And then there was this sickening feeling of, I cannot do this. I just can't do this again. I came to this place where I was like, okay, Lord, if you want me to be a single mom and you don't have a plan for me to meet someone, and you are not restoring my previous marriage, then you have to be the grace for me to be single. Like I just said, Lord, if that's what you want, I'm willing. I just need you to be that grace. that was not an easy prayer to pray because of course I had dreamed my whole life of that traditional family and being a mom, and here I was, a mom now about to be a single mom. The shame was horrible. And it was a matter of just one step at a time, trusting the Lord. But then the question is, like, Lord, are you going to leave me alone? Like, are you going to leave me like this? It's like Corey said before, neither of us believe that divorce is it's not something God can bless. And both of us had that conviction individually in our first marriages. And we both prayed against the divorce in our situations. And we both fought to do whatever we could to save the marriage while still, obviously holding to the fact that there needed to be a covenant. The covenant needed to be upheld by both sides. Obviously, there was only so far that each of us could go in our individual situations. And then when it was over, like for me, what made it very clear that the Lord was not restoring my first marriage was when he found someone else. And so for me, that was a big piece, because now this brings me to the verse about under what circumstances does God allow divorce, right? In my heart, I think I was not divorced until I knew that he was physically with someone else. Like he had become joined to someone else. So, and that was very obvious. And once that was obvious, then it was like the Lord in my heart allowed me to let go. And at that point, I felt like, I think I had a feeling really shortly after that the Lord was going to provide someone else. And my intention at that point was that it would be God's choice. Well, you said you went into the dating apps.
That's how I got involved with church programs like divorce support groups and stuff like that. And I met another Christian friend who became very close at the time. Just reminded that, as far as the dating goes, until you're divorced, you're still married, right? So I had to kind of put I was convicted and put the brakes on that. And then I was still going through counseling as well. Like my marriage counseling turned into, like, I guess, divorce counseling, right? And then talking to the counselor, she provided that book, how to find, as you're entering this new phase, make sure you are joined with someone that you have the best chance with, right?
Compatible.
Compatible. Use that book with you to make sure.
It was very impressive. He impressed me with that book because it had all these questions.
Because you getting divorced once, like, couldn't imagine getting divorced again.
Right.
And then at the same time, you always hear the stats on how second marriages fail more than first marriages. And I think part of that is because you've been through it, right? So you know that it's not the end of the world, and the shock factor is decreased.
In any case, the question inevitably you ask is, can God bless a second marriage? When you find yourself in the situation against all of your efforts to have the outcome be otherwise, you have to ask the Lord, well, Lord, what are you doing? And so it was very shortly after I prayed that prayer about God, you choose. Yeah, that you came along. So I had my answer. Like one thing I found throughout my entire life, this is my personal experience, and I'll just share it because I feel like it could encourage others to do the same. And that is literally to just come to a place of surrender with the Lord. You know, you tell the Lord all the things you want, but at the same time, you ask the Lord what it is He wants. When you have a relationship with someone, obviously you want things to be mutually beneficial, right? And when you love the Lord, and I did, you know, in spite of what He allowed to happen, you know, I went through anger for sure. And I told the Lord I was angry. I told the Lord that it wasn't fair. But at the same time, I wanted to learn what it was the Lord needed me to learn from it. And so anyway, in a few, I think it was a couple weeks, maybe less than that. And then you sent me a message. I did put my profile up on dating apps and just kind of leave it because I was so overwhelmed. I literally felt sick about trying to find someone in the sea of overwhelm. Anyway, it was such a relief when there was this message, and then there was this confirmation in my spirit that came with the message. Sorry, you were saying we got interrupted by a child.
Yes. So, gotta get back.
Reorient. Okay.
Yeah, like I don't want this podcast to. I gotta cover up my mic. I don't want this podcast, or I don't want to come across like the divorce was meant to happen.
No.
It was God's plan for the divorce to happen, so we could be together and have this blessed marriage.
Right.
Going back to the fallen world,
right.
As happy as we are, and I know God has blessed our marriage.
Yes.
You can see it day in and day out.
Yeah.
But there's still reminders that it wasn't God's plan.
Yes.
I mean, there's fractures in the relationships between me and some of my kids.
Right.
There's financial hardships.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's involved. Like it's
like on the one hand, we feel incredibly blessed to have found each other.
But it hasn't.
And I know what you're saying as far as like emotionally, we are very secure in the fact that the Lord has blessed us with each other. On the other hand, we're also very aware, painfully aware, of the fact that being married a second time isn't actually the way of God's blessing. How do I put this? I'm not saying that we're cursed, and I'm not saying that that a second marriage is not something God can bless. What He's saying, and I completely agree, is that the consequences of what it is will happen.
Yes.
And that is, it is a second marriage. So your family is broken when you lose your first marriage. It breaks apart. And
deep.
In a deep way. Yeah. And then,
I mean, the children, you know, you can say a divorce is better for the children, but I don't think the children ever actually recover.
Yeah. Even if there was an abusive partner in a situation and the divorce had to happen for safety, the children will suffer regardless, you know, whether you stay married or whether you get divorced. But the point is, the children suffer in a fractured family. And a family can be fractured when you're still together, you know, when both partners are not, you know, following the Lord, I would say, and not all in. And then, of course, when a divorce actually happens and then you're looking at remarriage, the children never asked for this.
No.
You know, and so they literally become victimized by whatever the adults decide to do.
Yeah, and they're in the middle.
Yeah. If the adults are nasty to each other, the children are broken by it.
Yeah.
You know, regardless, not having mommy and daddy together is probably the most shattering thing.
Yeah.
I mean, my mother is the most nurturing mother in the world. She's passed away now, but anyways, she passed on this legacy of nurturing love to me. So it was very easy for me, very natural to become a stepmom to kids that were not mine biologically, and love them, especially because they were my husband's children. And they were all delightful in their own way. But watching them suffer, boy, that was not something that that is not something I do well with. You know, we're thrilled to be together as a couple and thrilled to be together as a family. But on the other hand, you see the kids with the feeling the divided loyalties.
Yeah.
You know, if they love me, does that hurt their mother? So hard on the kids.
Yeah. So not God's plan.
No. And if we could say, you know, like, if you can save your marriage,
Save it.
You need to save your marriage, is especially for your children. Like, if you can go to the cross and put yourself aside, and I'm not talking about like in dangerous situations or abusive situations, because of course those are exceptions. You know, and if there needs to be separation for safety and somehow things can be reconciled, all we're saying is fight for it.
Yeah. Go to counseling.
Yeah. Go to counseling and both do the work, because the being where we are is actually not something we'd wish on anyone.
Nope.
You know, because it's like, we're so thankful to the Lord for the gift of each other.
Yeah.
But how we got here is not how we would have chosen to get here.
Nope.
So how has God blessed our marriage? I'm just going to start with that to be encouraging, you know, like, so obviously
probably painted a pretty dismal picture here. Sobbing, families destroyed. But on the bright side, sorry.
What you have suffered is nobody should, like, no parent should have to suffer what you suffered with the loss of your kids. Your kids should not have had to suffer what they suffered. Like,
I'm not putting it all on my ex-spouse. I mean, there are lots of mistakes I had made, because there's no rule book on.
No.
And again, you go through your whole life with a trajectory, and then it's cut. Like, you're floundering, you're drowning, and then you have all these things coming up, like custody issues and like how to co-parent. Like, we couldn't end up co-parenting just for other reasons, but there was just like, again, there's no instruction book. Right.
Yeah, and whatever it is that ends the marriage, obviously, in a lot of cases, I would probably guess that in most cases, I think every adult in a situation with divorce and then a potential blended family, everybody's got their fears, their concerns about what they are personally going to suffer.
Yeah, but don't realize the
impact.
The lasting impacts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So going on to
the positives.
The positives.
Yeah, I would, because there is that.
Yeah, like, I think for me, when my first marriage was on the rocks, I'd gone through, I think, about a year of personal counseling.
Yes.
Which then turned into marriage counseling between myself and my ex. Anyways, I mean, I had done a lot of work.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I was able to bring into this marriage. Right.
Yeah. And I benefited from that. You learn a lot from the mistakes you make in the first one, especially if you do the work.
Yes.
And I agree with you, because I was I was there too, as far as doing the work between me and the Lord and taking responsibility for my part in the way things went.
Yeah.
With the breakup of the first marriage, and realizing.
Yeah, I think you go into it like wiser.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
And of course, more mature, because you're older.
Yeah.
I think when young people get married, especially if they're not eyes wide open when they do it.
You're full of spit and vinegar.
It just, you just don't even know yourself that well. And so that is what makes it more challenging.
Yeah, you're like this bouncy ball just kind of going all over the place, right?
Yeah, and your reactions are whatever, you know, and then your brain develops a little bit more. And you start to be like, oh, maybe that wasn't so wise, or maybe that wasn't so important. the bottom line is we both came into it a little bit more mature, which was lovely for us. But then the other piece was, I think, we really prayed through getting to know each other and
keeping God in the center.
Yeah. That was a big thing that we both needed to prioritize because we'd seen what happens when
you don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then, of course, because we did, I mean, the Lord has just made us more and more one over the years.
Yes.
And we have that soulmate kind of relationship where, he's my best friend and I tell him everything. My nervous system calms down the minute he walks in the room. Like, it's so true. Like, you go to work and you're the first man in my life that I have not braced myself for coming home. Like, I'm always like, when is he going to be here? When is he going to be
Emma.
here? And so is Emma. Yeah, exactly.
Daddy!
Yeah, and she's like at the window, like, okay, Mom, you said he's coming home soon. Why is he not here yet? Our 3-year-old.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Lord, saw two broken people. Yeah. Like, hey, that's the match.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's been a really sweet experience, even going through the tough things that we have had to go through. You get remarried, and all of a sudden, the things that brought about the divorces on both sides are fresh and rearing their ugly head, right? Like, we got together, and all of a sudden there were issues.
Yeah.
Right? Like, when we were alone, when we were separate, everything was fine.
Yeah.
It was fine. Yeah. and then we decided to get together, and our ex become aware of it, and the children have to be involved, and so it's we had to walk through some bombshells. And the reason I bring it up is just because I really appreciate that the Lord, through those things, proved that he had put us together, because some of it could have shaken us, and and it didn't. Yeah. In fact, it just solidified our union.
Yeah. 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 I guess what we're saying is that there is a distinction between God's blessing and God's approval. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Like, I don't think God approved everything. Right. But
He made all things work together for good.
Yes. Thank you.
I think
Jesus was standing with it all through us. With us, standing through it with us.
Yes, very good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, he definitely was. Yeah. We have free will. We know this. The Bible tells us that. Yeah. And he knows the decisions that we're going to make, right? And he knows how to set us up for success. But the biggest thing is he just needs our turning to him. Yeah. In the process, not just turning to him, but loving him. The whole concept of seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. The Lord really cared for our hearts. I think that was the main thing that we realized is, no, the Lord doesn't approve of divorce. No, the Lord doesn't want divorce. It's not a contract. It's a covenant when you get married. Yeah. And when you have that reverence before the Lord, you're not so quick to think, well, this isn't working. Let's just call it quits, right? Yeah. And both of us are like solid on that agreement, But, human beings are what they are. We talked about youthfulness, and we talked about immaturity, and whatever led to the divorce in the first place, whatever leads to sin in the first place. I think the Lord really is good at cherishing your heart when you come back.
Yeah, you're really snacked with his mercy and grace.
Yes.
You really learn what that is.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And you're made all the better for it, and you can be a much more compassionate person when you realize you failed.
Yes.
And yet the Lord was like so sweet and so caring and so detailed in his care, in putting the pieces back together, however that looks. Yeah. The point is, when the Lord puts the pieces back together, like, obviously he blesses the works of his own hands.
I mean, we're not complete by any means.
No.
He's still putting the pieces together.
Yes.
Every day.
Yes.
Day by day.
Yeah. But we're getting to know the Lord and how he operates.
And to recognize it.
Yeah.
To see it, to feel it.
And it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
You know, to experience that. The Lord healing, the Lord making sense of things, the Lord just loving you, cherishing you.
Yeah. And the big piece is just learning to go to him.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost.
Yeah.
Like, there's always the human reaction to things. Like when something comes up with the kids, it's like, you know, it's like, this isn't right, and you want to fix it, or you want to deal with it in a human way, but it's like, Lord, what are you doing in this situation? Like, what should I be doing in this situation? I have no idea.
Yeah.
Lead the way.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You come to this place of humility before God.
Yeah.
And
it's hard. It's not natural.
No. It's natural to react first.
Yeah.
I really enjoy realizing that as we mature in the Lord, he becomes our reaction.
Yeah.
You know. And I've seen that.
Wise,
I've seen that happen with us, and with, you know, like just from the beginning of our marriage till now, you know. So.
Yeah. Through all 8 years, almost 9.
It's not that long, but it's significant if you think about it, you know, like, anyways.
Yeah.
We meant to bring more Bible verses into this, but if you want some verse references that have comforted us.
Romans, where God talks about working good in all things, right?
Yes, all things work together for good. Joel, there's restoration. Oh, yes. The Lord restores the years the locusts have eaten.
Yes.
Yeah, and he does do that.
Yeah,
so. That is a piece of blessing we've definitely experienced.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Psalms is huge. You know, God's close to the brokenhearted.
Yes.
That's the main one. Because you are brokenhearted. There's no, again, unicorns and rainbows. It can be messy.
Yeah.
And when you're broken, he's with you. He's close.
Yes. Yeah.
Wraps his arms around you.
Yes. Yeah. And the Lord is very good at looking beyond our failures to see our need.
Yeah.
You know, and then meeting that need, like the woman at the well of Samaria, where she, you know, he was like, you've been married 5 times and the man you're with now is not your husband. You need the water of life.
Yeah.
So if we could say anything about, you know, healing and going forward, you know, there's no condemnation. Again, there's another one to those who are in Christ Jesus. The reality is that's really true. The Lord wants you to know there is no condemnation, but he just needs you.
And nothing can separate you from the love of God.
Very good. That was in church this week.
It was yesterday. Yep.
Yes. Yep. That was really sweet.
Yeah, because you're going through like good decisions and lots of bad decisions.
Yes.
And just having that reminder is, you know.
Yeah.
Nothing in all creation.
Yes. Nothing in all creation
Yeah.
can separate you from the love of God.
Nothing in time, nothing in space.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. Neither height nor depth.
Yeah. Angels or demons.
Nor things present nor things to come. And that is such a
relief.
A relief, yes. And a stabilizing reality. Even if you're in a position of divorce and you're looking towards having to get remarried, or you're in the process of the first few years of a second marriage and you're just wondering, can God bless this?
With God, with the Lord in it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. We hope this has been a comfort in some way to someone.
Yeah, so seek the Lord in everything.
Yeah, because that's really what we're here to encourage, is that marriages can be blessed as long as you have the Lord as your center.
Yeah.
And that is not a doctrine we're teaching. That is a reality we're living.
Yeah.
Amen.
Amen.
Signing off. See you next time.
Yeah, bye-bye.